With the 54th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select A.J. Epenesa, defensive end, Iowa.
So
A.J. Epenesa goes to the Buffalo Bills, Iowa defensive end, second-team All-American, Associated Press All-American, played for the Iowa Hawkeyes, a 2-year starter, native of Illinois. Yeah, that's good, right?
So
look, it falls right into what the Bills need, that's for sure.
Yeah, you think about it, we talked about getting younger. Now the Bills have got A.J. Epenesa, and they have Bam Johnson, Bam Johnson coming into his second year, A.J. Epenesa coming in as a rookie, two young defensive ends that the Bills are going to try and develop and get into the regular rotation on their defensive line, learning from the likes of Jerry Hughes and Trent Murphy and the rest. They're set. I mean, that's a good group. That is a really good group with Mario Addison, Vernon Butler, I think they're good to go in the front seven. Maybe they'll get a linebacker later in this draft. They've still got all the guys they've signed with. They've got what is the guy from Matakevich? They've got AJ Klein. They've got Milano. They've got Tremaine Edmonds. And the draft picks last year, they're taking shape. A.J. Epenesa fits perfectly in what they're doing.
Reading some of the draft reviews of A.J. Epenesa, and we talked about our lads had him in a certain way, and Lindy Sports Pro Football Draft rated him as a first-round prospect, as did our lads, by the way. Epenesa, a pro comparison, they say, is Cameron Jordan of the New Orleans Saints. Jordan coming out of Cal a couple of years ago, very good defensive end, lacked elite traits. I guess Epenesa is not viewed as elite, but he's been a pretty good pro, Cameron Jordan is, and I think the Bills are hoping for much of the same from A.J. Epenesa. Weaknesses for A.J. Epenesa, the Bills. Well, let's get to the strengths first. Outstanding size, tall, long, thickly built. He has quality speed and fluidity, enough to threaten the corner of offensive tackles. Strength is the core of his game, they say, and he's a good athlete. Plays a number of different positions or a number of different ways for the defensive line for the Iowa Hawkeyes. His technical skills are advanced, shows a variety of hand swipes and counters, knows how to discard blocks. Weaknesses, Epenesa's speed, athleticism, and bend is not elite, which lowers his ceiling somewhat. This is according to Lindy's draft guide. They say run defense, he's probably the best defensive end in this draft, A.J. Epenesa. A full-service defensive end, they call him. He takes his responsibility in the running game seriously. So that's good. He's not a one-trick pony, that's for sure, Steve.
Yeah, the only thing that's different about him, obviously, is the fact that he doesn't run fast. You know, that's what sets a guy apart. He's 6'5", 275. He's not a speed rusher, but he does have technique. He does learn fast, and he's got a high motor. He'll fit into the culture in a One Bills drive, you can bet. So a lot of things looking good for him and for the Bills. That's a big body dude that will give them some short yardage help. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And Epenesa is a guy who, I got to tell you, Murph, you and I, neither one thought he was going to be there at 54. So we knew 7 or 9 picks ago, half a dozen picks ago, that there was going to be somebody of quality there. And sure enough, Epenesa was. I thought it might not happen. But if it can't be a corner, it's okay that it's a defensive end.
Yeah, well, let's face it. They have a bigger need on the defensive line, edge rush, defensive end, than they do at corner, Steve. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think so. I think they've got enough guys we've got a lot of experience at corner. But if you're treating, and we had a lot of callers on our show today, Murph, that were really concerned about the age of Jerry Hughes and the age of Trent Murphy. Got a couple of 30-year-olds up front. If you're concerned about that, you kind of also have to be concerned about the age of your cornerback room with Josh Norman and E.J. Gaines.
How about Levi Wallace and Tre'Davious White? They're not old.
Right, but there's two guys. You got to have three. Again, Taron Johnson's a young guy too.
Yeah.
But that second corner on the outside is two guys that are long in the tooth. And I wouldn't be surprised if they still get a young guy to come in and compete.
You don't think Levi Wallace is any more the second corner? Because I kind of think he's got the job until further notice, until Josh Norman beats him out. I'm not putting much faith in Josh Norman being a great player. He hasn't had a good couple of years Steve. I don't know if I would count on him. I wouldn't rely on him.
You'd almost though. I mean, you might be right, Murph. But I'm a big believer that, and Greg Cosell says it to you and me all the time. Most guys are scheme fits. They're system athletes. And if Josh Norman was playing in the wrong system and being asked to play a corner position that he's not really and never was very good at because of a change in philosophy, that could account for a lot of the drop in production for him. Don't forget, this is the defense he's about to play in for the Buffalo Bills is the exact defense that made him one of the top corners available ever in the last 5 years. So we'll see if he can get some of that back when he gets into the scheme that fits him. But you're right, he may be finished. And it may be Levi Wallace or nobody.
I didn't say he's finished, by the way. I just think you dismissed Levi Wallace out of hand. I think Levi Wallace returns as a starter and is the starter until he's beaten out. But let's not talk about corners. Let's talk about defensive ends. A.J. Epenesa, defensive end from Iowa, is the Bills' pick. Comes in the 54th spot, the 22nd pick in the second round. We await the pick now from the Baltimore Ravens, who pick 23rd in this round. And then the Bills will pick again at 86. So they did address a need, Steve, and they got it with a guy with a first-round grade for most folks, A.J. Epenesa, and a guy that is going to be interesting to watch, I think, to see how he fits in with this Bills team.
Yeah, it's he's going to – you can bet he's going to be a contributor. There's no question. He's got too good a pedigree not to fit into the rotation somewhere. And he'll be learning from a guy like Jerry Hughes, who's a different. And I think people say, well, he's completely different. He is. He's a very different down lineman than a guy like Jerry Hughes. And I think, strange as it sounds, I think it's a good thing. You want to learn some skills that you don't have from a guy who really does have them.